feel like a lot of people like libertarians, but one thing that is a major turn-on for them is we want to make it easier to legally immigrate.
Yeah.
They don't seem to understand that thing. But you say all the time, if you don't like this country, you can leave. But at the same time, you want to make it harder to get to this country. If someone does like this country.
Where are they supposed to go? Right. Yeah.
You want people that love this country here, but you also make it hard for them to immigrate if they are to immigrate to another place.
Yeah, if you don't like this country, then leave doesn't actually mean they want people to leave. No. That means shut up.
Yeah.
So when you then when you say your thing, then they say shut up again.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's what has worked with me talking with conservatives, because most border hawks are also conservatives. So they talk about limited government, going back to what the founders intended, but also closed borders, which was definitely not what the founders intended. You will find the occasional more left-leaning labor unionist type who also supports, closing the border. Of course, then you'll find elected Democrats who talk about opening borders and then continue to fully fund the ICE. But so here's how I talk about it. I asked them if they want what the founders intended. They say yeah, and I said, well, the founders made it clear in the Declaration of Independence that one of the reasons they were taking up arms against the British government and declaring the independence from them was because King George was limiting immigration into the colonies. And that for the first 100 years that the U.S. existed, there were no restrictions on immigration. And then for roughly another, about 50-ish years after that, 50, 60 years after that, there were very few limitations on immigration. We want to go back to that very few time, minus Chinese. What we want to do is go back to a time where if you want to come to this country, you go to a checkpoint, you say who you are, you say what country you're coming from, you get a basic check for community diseases. If you have community disease, quarantine for whatever period of time that disease is, and then if you don't have a disease, or once you've done your quarantine, welcome to America. Now, there's still a process for becoming a citizen. That makes sense. There's always been, in the Constitution, it mentions naturalization, that the government has every reason to have whatever criteria they set forward to be able to become a citizen, which allows you to vote. It allows you to have protection from ever having to be removed for a crime. And it also gives you diplomatic protection overseas. And in order to do that, you have to, with constitutional history, you have to have a basic understanding of English, whatever criteria they set. That makes sense. That should be fine. But to just be here is absolutely good. It's not under the government's business whether you're here or not. But I always pivot back to two things with border occupancy. What the founders intended and the big government police state that has been created to try to enforce controls on immigration. That's what it has led to. That's the reason why they're spying on you. The reason that you have to put your information through a federal database and you have to get a job or an increasing number of states to get a loan or get a mortgage or get a new car or utilities putting your name or anything else is because of the controls on immigration. The reason why you can be detained if you're within 50 miles of any border or shore by federal agents, a total violation of your Fourth Amendment rights without even having a stated reason for why you're being detained and having to submit your papers to federal law, which is a blatant violation of the Constitution, is because of those restrictions on immigration. It's not just a violation of the rights of people that are trying to come here to live a better life. It's a violation of your life, your rights, not just to be able to live your life, but to host and hire and house whoever you wish to do so on your own private property. So that's what I talk about. I take it back to what the founders intended, and I take it back to property rights and the big government police and surveillance state that has been created in vain to try to control immigration. Because here's the thing. Turns out that when you make something illegal, criminals just bribe politicians and border patrol agents, and they get through whatever they want anyway. Doesn't stop anything.